4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 54, 81, 100, 121, 144, 196, 225, and the number keeps on growing just like that. Do you understand? And these are perfect squares that if you take their square root, all these numbers I've mentioned to you now, once you take their square root using your calculator, you are going to get a whole number. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Good. Now the question is, how do I even get the square root of numbers without using a calculator? Is it possible that I can get the square root of numbers without using a calculator? The answer is yes. It is very, very possible. Now, how do I achieve that? Having known what perfect squares are. Now, or better still, before we start looking at that, let me give you an exercise, something to work out quickly. Can you see the board? Can you see the board over here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to do this real quick, having understood what a perfect square is. So simplify the following. So if I ask you to simplify number 1, 2 raised to power 2 times square root of 9 is equals to dash. That's the first one. The second one, I can have square root of 16 minus 5 equals to dash. Number 3, I can have 5 square divided by 5. Number 4, I can have square root of 36 multiplying square root of 16 equals to dash. Alright, so answer these questions. From the first one, what's the answer?
Sorry. I think I understand the definition of both of them, but I'm still struggling to understand how you solve
What is 2 raised to power 2?
2 raised to power 2. That's 4.
What is square root of 9?
Square root of 9. That's 27.
I said, what is square root of 9? I thought you have a table I sent to you.
Yeah. That's the table. That's 3.
So you can multiply 4 by 3. Because what I asked you to do here, square root of 2, 2 raised to power 2 is 4. Square root of 9 is 3. And I'm asking what is 4 times 3. You said you don't know how to solve them. I gave you a table that has everything written on the screen.
Okay. Got The first one is 10.
First one is what?
12. Yeah,
12.
yeah.
What about the second one?
Working on the second one right now. Sixteen. Square root of 16 minus 5. So go to the table. The square root of 16 is 4. So you can say 16.
You can say what?
So that I can say 16 minus 5 equals to 11.
Are you seeing 16 minus 5 there? Is that what you're seeing there? You seeing square root of 16?
Mm. Oh, wait, but the answer I'm gonna give you now is going to be a minus number, right?
Yeah, because you're taking what is square root of 16?
4.
Good. So whenever you subtract a big number from a small number, you're gonna get a minus, a negative number.
Okay. So 4 minus 5 is going to give you minus 1. So okay, that equals to minus 1. Okay. The answer to question number 2 is minus 1. So let's go with number 5. 5, 5, let's go back 2.
5 what?
5 raised up by 2
Mm-hmm.
minus 5
That's divided. Divided.
or divided. So I just came up from graphs now. Okay, this is 25. And they're asking me what is 25 divided by 5. Okay, so it's divided. Okay, 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5. That's question number 3. Or question number 3. Question number 4. 36 plus
What's question number 4?
okay. Question number 4. 6. The first digit is 6. And they're asking us to add it to 4. So 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. Yeah. I got all my answers.
Okay. So what are your answers from 1 to 4?
12 minus 1, 5, 10.
Good. Now, the point, what I want you to do, beyond just getting the questions correctly, that's the reason why I have to send that table to you. You must have to master what perfect squares are, in your mind. You don't need to look at the table before you know that the square root of 16 is 4. You don't need to look at the table for you to know that the square root of 49 is 7. It is something that should be in your mind everywhere you go. You should have the knowledge of these perfect squares because it will ease you so much stress in mathematics, especially as you proceed higher. So in this early stage, you need to get them right, get them correctly, and get everything installed in your head. And it doesn't happen by magic. It happens by studies. So study the table every time until it becomes part of you. Because the next time will be before we begin a class, I'll quickly give you a test on perfect squares. And at that point, I wouldn't want you to use tables or make any mistake. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
Now, having understood this, the next thing I want us to do, how do I find the square root of numbers without the use of a calculator? Let's say you're being found in a situation, you went into an exam hall where you need to find the square root of numbers and you don't have a calculator with you. How would you find that? Now let's begin with simple numbers. The first perfect square I have after 1, of course, square root of 1 is 1, so it's not easy to find 1. Now let me say find the square roots of the following numbers. Find the square roots. Find the square roots of the following numbers. Find the square root of the following numbers. And the first number I have there, I have numbers like 36. I have numbers like 64. I have numbers like 81. So I want you to find the square root of these numbers. So without doing anything, what's the square root of 36? From the table, what's the square root of 36? Good. Now, I want you to take down this question before I work it out. Take example 2. The first example was to simplify those squares. Now, this one, example 2 says find the square root of the following numbers. So take it down and take down the numbers. Let me show you how to work it out without the use of a table or a calculator. Are you done writing?
I'm writing the question too.
Okay. Find the square root of the following numbers. That's what I wrote there. So you don't write what I didn't write.
Okay, I'm done.
You done? Alright, so let's begin from the first one. Square root of 36. Now look at what you do. Just like you do your LCM using the ladder method, so you're still going to draw something that looks like that, a 2-column table like this. So I'm going to draw a 2-column table. Now you put the number here, 36 will be here, which is the first one I'm looking for, the square root. Now I start. You have to divide this number by all prime numbers you know, just as though you're finding LCM. Do you understand? Anytime the prime number, the one you're dividing with, can go, you go to the next one, all right? Just like you're finding LCM. Do you understand that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, but are we using 2 numbers for this?
We're going to start. What's the first number that can go into 36?
number that I got just 30. I wouldn't say 36. 2.
Oh my God.
2.
2. Yes. 2. 2 is, yes, 36 is an even number, so 2 can divide. So I use 2. Now 2 divide 36, what will I have?
18.
18. You write down 18. Now, 18 is an even number, right?
Those are even numbers, so
So 2 can divide again. 2 can go into 18. So what's 2 divided by 18?
you get 9.
9. 9 is not an even number. Is that true?
Yeah. So we use 3.
Now 3 can divide 9. Let's use 3. 3 go into 9.
Okay, 3 divided.
Or better still, 9 divided by 3. Or 3. 9 divided by 3 will give us what?
9 divided by 2 will give us 5. 9
And you put
divided
down
by
the 3.
9 divided by 2 will give us 40. No, not 45.
No.
4.5.
No. That's not true. 9 can divide 2. It's 3. 2 can go into 9. 9 is an odd number. So you can't use 2. That's why I use 3. Alright? So 9 going to 3, we're going to get 3. And of course, 3 can divide itself. So I put 3 again. 3 divided 3 is what? 1. Is that not true? Good. Now, at this point, I'm done dividing the whole of this number. Remember, I'm not looking for LCM. What I'm looking for is the square root of 36. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to group these numbers in pairs. I'll group this in pairs. Now, I'll bring out one of the 2 here. I'll bring out another. I'll bring out 3 here. So, do you understand what I mean? So, for each 2 numbers, I pick 1. For each of the 2 numbers, I'll pick 1. Do you understand? Hence, I can now see that I'm having just 2 times 3. I'm going to multiply this. 2 times 3. Just the 2 numbers, I picked 1. Out of these 2 3s, I picked 1. I'll be multiplying 2 by 3. So I'll be having that, therefore, the square root of 36 is going to be equal to 2 times 3. And what is 2 times 3? 6. Did you understand that?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is how to find the square root of numbers without the use of a calculator. So once you understand your LCM, the ladder method, you understand, you already know how to do square root of numbers. So you don't need to, so even if you forget what the square root of a number is, you can easily work it out immediately. But it's important you have them in your mind. Now the next number they gave us there is 64. If I do 64, if I do this 3 I gave you, I'll give you the one you will try out by yourself. Now, so the 64, I still draw my table. Now, I'll write the 64 here. Now, 64 is an even number, so 2 can divide. Is that true?
Yes.
So if I use 2 to divide 64, what will I have?
If I use 64 to divide, you will get 32.
I'll get what?
32.
I'll get 32. Alright, I put on 32. 32 is still an even number, so I use 2 to divide 32. And 2 divide 32 is going to give me what? 16. I put down 16. I use 2 can divide. 16 is an even number. 2 can divide again. 2 divide 16 will give us what? 8. 8 is still an even number. I use 2. 2 divide 8 will give us what? 4. 4 is also an even number. I'm going to use 2 again. 2 divided by 4 will give us what? And 2 is an even number. So 2 divided by 2, I'm going to get 1. Did you see how I get this?
Yeah.
So I pick, I'll group them in pairs. Group this, group this, group this. Did you see that? So I'm going to get 2 times 2 times 2. Therefore, I can see square root of 64 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2. And that will give me what? 8. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the next one is 81. Alright, so let me write down this for the first one. Write down the solution for the, since you're writing down the question. So write down the first exercise, the first solution I did for the 36. I want you to put it down. And the second one.
I will just be okay. Do it in a picture.
If you're done with each slide, you tell me to turn to the next one.
Okay. Group 1, group 2, okay, so the number is 2 times 3, 2 times 3, times usually 6, 6 is square root. Okay, put your next one. Okay, done it. Group
Next
1,
one.
group 2,
Are you done with this one too?
group 3. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
How many twos are we counting?
3 times.
You're saying it 4 times.
Oh, that gives me 8. Okay, done.
So let's do the next one. 81. So similarly, I'm going to draw my ladder method.
The ladder method is actually like beneficiable.
It has what?
I said the ladder method is actually beneficiable.
Yeah, it is. 81. I put on 81. Now, I'll start. 81 is an odd number, hence it can be divided by 2, right? So you can't divide it by 2. Is that true?
In 81
8.
is no, it is not even number. It is not.
So 2 can divide. So I have to begin. Now,
So
can 3
I think
divide since it's an odd? You check.
Let's try to the odd number. Yes, I can. 27.
So 3 going to 81 will give me 27.
So
All right.
27
Can
is
3 divide 20?
so
Can 3 divide 27?
yes, it can. 9.
So use 3. 3 divided 27 will give me 9. Right?
Yeah.
Can 3 divide 9?
Yeah, it will give us 3. And then from
3.
3, we divide 3 again, and it will give us 1.
1. So what's the next thing? You group them in pairs. Right?
Yes, there is actually, the, there's actually just 2 groups.
So I'm going to be therefore the square root of 81 is going to be 3 times 3. And that will give us 9.
Oh, oh, but what was said, does this really rely on
Okay?
hold on, sir, can you stand up your hand? My hand is just like making a noise.
Okay. Alright. Fine. Okay. Has it stopped?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I'm using an earpod so it amplifies the sound. That's why I could hear it very well.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now, now, say that a number is odd. Like, does it really like fully like a lie if the number is odd or even?
I didn't hear you.
Does this does this say fully rely on if the number is odd or even?
If it relies, of course, before you know the number that would be used to divide, you should know whether the number is odd or even. And every even number can be divisible by 2. So once the number is even number, just keep using 2 to divide. But if the number is an odd number, you're going to check. Can 3 divide the number? Because 3 is the first prime odd number. So you check. Can 3 divide? If 3 can, then use 3. If 3 can't, try the next prime odd number, which is 5. So you check. Can 5 divide? If 5 can, use 5. If 5 cannot, use the next prime odd number, which is 7. Can 7 divide? That's how you keep trying it. So basically, the numbers given to you should be divisible by either 2, 3, 5, 7, or 13, like that. But it has to be odd numbers. It has to be, prime numbers. Do you understand? So you have to know when numbers are even, when numbers are odd. How do you know even number? Even numbers must end with either 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's how you know an even number.
Odd.
Any number that ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 is an even number.
Okay.
You understand?
It doesn't
And
matter.
any number that
It doesn't matter if the second term of the number before that even number is odd. All that
yes.
matters is the one that is even. Okay.
So odd numbers should end with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Do you understand that? Okay, so let me give you the one to do right away. Have you written this one down?
Have I written this one? No.
This last one, have you written it?
No.
Okay, put it down.
I already put now. Image. 31, 3, 3, 3, 3, 27. 9, 3, 1. 3, 3, which is 3, 0. Okay, so 3 times 3, 3 times 3 times 3 is 9.
You doing right?
Hold on. There's one more question I had. What if like there's multiple different numbers? Like is that would be 3 times 3 or 2 times 2? Then there's going to be like a lot different numbers.
Like having 2 and 3 together.
Yeah.
You can. If you can have, you can either have 2 and 2 together, 3 and 3 together, 5 and 5 together, like that. You can have 2 and 3 together. If you do 2 and 3 together, then you know you got it wrong. So if you study the pattern so far, two same numbers must always be together.
But
Do
I
you
don't have
understand?
to
Look at
worry
it.
about that whenever like whatever even the other method for such types of techniques. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you should. If eventually you get different numbers together, why doing this? Remember, what we are doing is not LCM. What we are doing is finding square roots. So if you are doing finding square roots, it must be two same numbers together. At every two steps, the numbers must be same. At every two steps, the numbers must be same. So it's either you can have 3 3, then get 5 5 like that, or 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3 5 5 like that. So you can't have 2 3 3 5. No, but you can have numbers like that when you're doing your LCM. Do you understand? So understand that once you're being given numbers to find perfect squares, the numbers must be such that you must have them in pairs like this. So that when you group them in pairs, you now pick one, pick one.
Mm, okay.
Alright, so do this one yourself. Find the square roots of the following numbers. Find the square roots of the following numbers. And the numbers are number 1, 25, number 2, 144, number 3, 196. Alright, so I'll leave you to do this yourself. Find the square root of the following numbers. Take the question down. taking everything down, right?
Yeah, I'm writing down the first question.
Like, have you written down everything on your notes before you start solving?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm waiting for the solutions.
25 divided by 6. No, man. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, 25. Divided by 2.
I just told you what odd numbers are. How can 25 go into 2? I told you if 3 can work, go to
But
the next prime odd number.
prime odd number. Yeah, that's the thing.
The first prime odd number is 3, and 3 cannot divide 25.
Then how
Now
about
take note of this. 5 can divide.
5 times the 0?
5 can. Now take note of this. 5 can divide every number that ends with 5. Every number that ends with 5 is divisible by 5. Have that in mind. Every number that ends with 5 is divisible by 5. So once you see any number that ends with 5, that number must be divisible by 5. So once you check that 3 cannot divide, 3 can divide numbers. I didn't say that there are no occasions 3 cannot divide numbers divisible by 5. No. But if the number is a perfect square, then it's likely to be 5 that will divide it.
Mhm. Okay. Now, put 24 plus 24. 24 divided by 2 is 5. 5 divided by 5 will give us 1. Wait, but Emeka, what if there is only one group? What can we do?
That's it. Then you take the one group. Don't need to just spare them and take one. That's it. It
So,
means that the square root of that 25 is the number there.
that's fine.
So you don't need to multiply this time.
Okay. So now, for question number 2, okay, so
Also into 2.
I divided 144 by 2 and I got 72. So now I'm going to put a third divided by 2. So I divide 2 again. I get 36. 36 and 10 is divisible. 26 is divisible by 2. Equal to 9. And then more, so now we have three, is 3, then 3 divided by 3 is 1. So, so, um, 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, 2 times 2 times 3, 24. So the answer to this one is 24.
What's 24? Square root of what?
24 is the square root for 444.
That's not true. Do that again. Group them in pairs, as I said. There's no way square root of 104 will give you 24.
Okay. So, is it 8?
Have you? Where are you making the mistake? Where on earth are you getting it wrong? I just told you. What's the first division? When you divided by 2, what did you get first?
72.
Divided by 2 again, what did you get first? What did you get next?
38. Just like 36.
Then 2 again, what did you get next?
18.
2 again, what did you get next?
9.
So how many 2's do you have there?
I have 3 twos. 3.
How do you mean you have 3
I
2's? How on
know,
earth do you have 3 2's?
I know, I want to say I have 3 groups of 2s.
No, that's not possible. You can't have 3 groups of 2 from what I just said now. You divided the first one by 2, you get 72. That's the first 2. Second 2, you got 36. That's the second 2. The third one, you got 18. The fourth one, you got 9. So you have 4 2's, which is 2 groups. So how did you get three groups of 2's? Eh? Then when you get to 9, you can now use 3 to divide 9. That will give you first 9. 3 to divide 3. That will give you the 1. That's last. So you have 2 groups of 2 and 1 group of 3.
No,
1
no,
group of
no.
3.
Let me just do it again.
You're already making mistakes on something we just did now.
I want to do this again. I want to do this again. This time, do it again. Can you go back to the white screen?
Can you what?
Can you go back to the white screen? Your white screen. Yeah. Yeah.
You want you need to look at the question of what?
Oh, yes. Okay. So now, so you have to 44 divided by 2. This is all over 204 divided by 22. 22 divided by 2 is 36. 26 divided by 2.
Where did you get 26 from? Where did you get 26 from? Where?
36 times 15.
Okay.
And then I get 18. 18 divided by 2. I get 9.
So how many groups
Then
of tools do you have there? Wait,
I
how
have
many
two.
tools do you have? Count your
Two.
tools.
I have two. I have 4. So how many 2 groups of 2?
Good. So finish it up.
2 times. Okay. So 3. 3 times 9. 3 divided by 9 gives me. Okay. Now I have two. Now I have one group of people. So 2 times 3. 2 times 2 times 3. And I get 12. So the answer to this
And if
is
and if you and if you check the table I gave you, the square root of 144 is 12.